Episode 10, as I was telling you before, as we have been telling you before, this is the 10th episode of the 3 Quarters podcast. We've been running for 10 weeks plus. This is part 3, where we're going to be talking about some football and other news. First of all, we want to remind you guys that the road to Japan 2019 begins now. So catch up on it. Catch up on and get that barabara before it leaves you.
Yeah.
Before it leaves you. Yeah, this is the 10th episode. This is Ngashi Official Noisemaker.
This is Njoro, the geek in charge.
And into football. Last week, we had the North England derby. Someone was telling me that it is called Lancashire or something like that. Anyway, we had Manchester United versus Liverpool, the two most successful clubs in Premier League history.
Yeah.
In English football, sorry. Not in Premier League history, in English football. The game was happening at Old Trafford. Now, give me your quick thoughts on what you think went right or what went wrong or what shouldn't have been done.
Well, that game, first of all, 1-1. I felt like for Man U, it felt like a loss for Manchester United because that was a chance for Man U to claw back and actually pass Liverpool in the table. But at the end of the day, I think 1-1 was a fair result. Because that game, Man U didn't play their game and Liverpool didn't play their usual game. It was a bit haphazard. And the first half, Carrick was, that pressing by Firmino, Lallana, that midfield press. It was crazy. So Carrick had to be brought off.
Yes.
So the game changed a bit, where Manu started dominating. Towards the second half after Milner's penalty.
I think first, when you look at the game, when you watch that game, every time a Man United player had the ball, he was manned by two people.
He was being hounded
by two Liverpool guys. And I've always thought in football, it's not about necessarily getting the ball, just get the player uncomfortable enough to make a bad pass. To make that mistake. And that's what Liverpool were doing very well. They frustrated Man United for a very long time. And of course they got Milner scored the penalty.
Because of Pogba's monkey business.
Because of Pogba's he was dubbing. He was dubbing as he shook that ball. But anyway, there was because of Pogba's handball. Then of course there was a penalty Milner converted. They brought in Rooney in the second half
for Carrick.
And there's always something about Rooney. I don't know. I like the guy. Despite me not being a Man United fan, I've liked his game. I think he's a workhorse. He works, and it was off his cross that I think it was Fellaini.
It was Fellaini who touched it on, then it hit the post, then it fell to Valencia.
Yes.
Cross, and Ibra does what he does.
Who brought it back for Ibrahimovic. So on the day I thought it was going to be a draw. It was a bit. There's some question marks that were raised in terms of Man United's play for me. Some questions raised, and what happens then when you meet those kind of teams that bully you. So that's.
Well, I think that game. First of all, Pogba had his worst game for me. Ever since he joined United. He was off. He missed a couple of sitters. So many guys were off. Martial had an opportunity to run at that young right back. That guy, it was his debut. He's 17. So I thought Martial was going to destroy him. But didn't. The guy handled his own. Against Martial. So for United, there was a lot of individuals on an off day. Also Mkhitaryan. There are some he was trying to cross instead of going for the shot. Maybe it was the pressure because that was his first time to play a Man United Liverpool game. So, but carrying forward, United is still on an unbeaten run. So you can only all well and good. 1-1. We see how we go forward.
You see how you go forward. All right. I'll go through the results of yesterday's game very quickly. We had Liverpool lose to Swansea 3-2 at home. We had Crystal Palace lose to Everton 1-0 at home. We had Stoke versus Manchester United. That was a draw 1-1. Manchester City giving up a 2-0 lead and draw with Tottenham 2-2. We had West Brom versus Sunderland, which was 2-0. Middlesbrough versus West Ham United, which was 3-1 to West Ham United. And Bournemouth versus Watford, which was 2-2. Today we have Southampton versus Leicester City currently going on.
It's going on, and Leicester behind.
Leicester behind. We have Chelsea versus Hull City at 7:30, and Arsenal
Burnley.
Arsenal versus Burnley at at the Emirates. That's at 5:15.
I don't know why I'm seeing Arsenal dropping points also. For some reason.
Because
when Arsenal are supposed to take off, when guys do them a favor, they usually, I don't know, Arsenal are afraid of winning that title.
Anyway, let's wait and see. It's not too far. It's an hour. Let's wait and see how it's going to go.
All right.
I'll read you the results. African Cup of Nations is happening in Gabon as we speak. Unfortunately, as we were talking last week, not too many people
know anything.
But it's happening as we speak. Gabon versus Burkina Faso 1-1, Cameroon versus Guinea-Bissau 2-1 to Cameroon, Algeria losing to Tunisia 2-0, Senegal beating Zimbabwe 2-0, Ivory Coast drawing with Congo. That was on Friday. I actually watched that game 2-2. Morocco beating Togo 3-1. Then Ghana beat Mali yesterday 1-0. Absolute class header by Asamoah Gyan. Yeah, and then Egypt winning, scoring I think with 5 minutes remaining to beat Uganda 1-0 yesterday. So you might want to show. Before that, this coming week we have Cameroon versus Gabon today. We have Guinea-Bissau versus Burkina Faso today. We have Zim versus Tunisia tomorrow. Senegal versus Algeria tomorrow. We have Togo versus DR Congo on Tuesday. Morocco versus Ivory Coast, which should be a good game on Tuesday, and on Wednesday we have Egypt versus Ghana, which should also be a good game, and Uganda versus Mali. Take us through the table.
The groups. In Group A we have Cameroon leading, Burkina Faso second, then Gabon and Guinea-Bissau. And then Group B we have Senegal, Tunisia, Algeria, Zimbabwe. Senegal topping that group. Group C, DRC, Congo. Morocco, Ivory Coast, and Togo. That's a tough group. Because Congo are at the top at the moment. There's Morocco and Ivory Coast.
The work is not Lingala.
We have Group D, Ghana, Egypt, Mali, Uganda. They are arranged in that order.
Okay, so by by Wednesday next week,
we should know
who's going to the next stage. To the quarterfinals.
But this has been Nani's tournament with the Mane.
Sadio Mane.
Against who were they playing last? They beat them 2-0. And he was on the score sheet. He was a constant threat. I think Mane.
They were playing Zim.
They were playing Zimbabwe. I think Mane will take player of the tournament.
African Player of the Year.
He's that's actually the best African for me right now.
That's actually a legit claim because he's been playing some good football also at Liverpool. Before Liverpool, he was at Southampton. He's also playing some decent football. So yes, I do agree with you that he's in contention.
He's in contention.
For getting the
Player of the
Year. Takes us to our next section where we're trying to come up with some sort of debate. So some sort of hot topics that guys are always talking about in bars. And I'll let Njoro take it from here and just tell us what he wants us to talk about today.
This is the one debate we've been having. Is Pep Guardiola really world class?
Yes.
A world class coach?
Yes.
See, people will say, obviously, I mean, he's won everything. But we're putting out this debate to actually analyze his career as a coach. Because you can look at it this way. Guardiola inherited Barcelona when they were near perfect
from Frank Rijkaard.
From Rijkaard. As in it just got in, did a little tweaks, and it became the behemoth that it became. Then after all the success in Barca, he went to Bayern, where it was the same kind of situation. He finds a really good team. Coming off winning a treble
actually with Jupp Heynckes.
So all he did was tweak here and there. And the team was sour. So now we're seeing at Man City that he can be exposed because he didn't inherit the machinery that is Barcelona. And Bayern. Here he's inherited a project in its initial stages. So my take is that we can't really judge him. We can't call him he is one of the best coaches, but is he as good as he says right now with all the success that he has? Can he replicate that by building Manchester City to take them to a level like where Bayern and
Barcelona are?
What do you think?
My thoughts. First, I'd like to disagree with you on one place. I don't think when Pep Guardiola was hired by Bayern Munich, he was not hired for the German Cup. or for the Bundesliga, sorry.
Yeah,
he was hired to win the Champions League.
It was purely for
Champions League, and he didn't win it. So there's a question mark raised as to whether he did what he was required to do at Barcelona, at Bayern Munich. I do agree that yes, he did inherit a team from Frank Rijkaard. Post 2000, Rijkaard must have left, I think 2007. Post the Ronaldinho era, and he inherited a decent team, near perfect. But again, you have to give the props to him because the tiki-taka is what is he. He's a student of Johan Cruyff. Total football is about Johan Cruyff. Pep Guardiola is a student of Johan Cruyff, so he was able now to bring it into
Barcelona,
into Barcelona style of play, and he was able to get results with that. You cannot run away from the fact that for about 4 or 5 years, these guys were the most dominant team in Europe, Barcelona, and the way they did it. He went to Bayern Munich. He's now at Manchester City. It just goes to show you, I think he's a good manager, but also, as you say, I doubt whether he's world class. He's at Manchester City right now. I think it just goes to show to all those people who think the Spanish La Liga is better than the Premier League. You need to think about that. You need to think about it.
The Premier League is
the Premier League is the best.
It's the best.
It's the most competitive.
It's the toughest league.
It's the toughest league. And like I was having a discussion yesterday with someone, I was telling them, how many times will you hear in La Liga that James Beattie or Kevin Phillips or Jamie Vardy are the top scorers? The players of that caliber are the top scorers. You hear it in the Premier League. I mean, it was last year. It happens. But you don't hear about that in La Liga.
And also, in the Premier League, you can easily watch a Leicester versus West Ham game. West Ham game. But if you go to La Liga, I think Celta Vigo versus Celta Vigo. Like I can't. Never. So Nini is motto. But going back to Pep, I think we also have to give him credit because he can be ruthless. When he got Barcelona, he quickly dispensed of Deco and Ronaldinho, and made built the team around Messi. And and also to discard a guy like Ronaldinho,
and also Deco was good.
Takes guts. As in he's a gutsy coach. Even Ibrahimovic, he brought him and chucked him. They still that
animosity
between them. And then also at Man City came fasting. Joe Hart. I told you, bring attitude, you can sit on the bench until you apologize. So we have to give him credit. He's also a brave and he can be ruthless when he needs to be.
Sir Alex Ferguson keeps on saying, in football, the biggest person is the manager. And the moment any player thinks that they're greater than the manager, that's where it goes south. And I think Pep Guardiola has been able to do that. But the jury is out on that. When you see this video, please make a comment and say what you think about Pep Guardiola.
Give us your thoughts.
Is he truly a world-class coach, or he just gets lucky with teams? That has been part 3 of episode 10. Again, I repeat, episode 10 of the 3 Quarters podcast. We've been doing this for 10 weeks, 10 plus weeks. Make a case of subscribing to our YouTube channel at the 3 Quarters podcast. Follow us on Twitter at the 3 Quarters, and like our Facebook page, 3 Quarters podcast. From me, Nash, the official noisemaker,
Joro, the geek in charge.
Until next week, see you guys. Keep it live and keep it locked. Cheers.